emotions come and go. The important thing is to accept them all, to embrace them all, and then you can choose to do with them what you want versus being controlled by emotion. A lot of times I've seen players, even myself, when I was younger, being consumed by a particular fear, and to the point where you're saying, okay, it's not good to feel fear. I shouldn't be nervous in the situation. And it does nothing but grow versus stepping back and saying, yeah, I am nervous about the situation. Yeah, I am fearful about the situation. But what am I afraid of? And then you kind of unpack it. And then it gives you the ability to look at it for really what it is, which is nothing more than your imagination running its course, Or game-winning free throws, and people go to the free throw line and they're nervous about it. Well, what are you really nervous about? If you unpack that, okay, you're nervous that you're going to miss the shot. All right, so you missed the shot, then what happens? People are going to be embarrassed. You're going to be embarrassed because thousands of people, millions of people see you miss the shot. All right, and then what? People are going to talk bad about you. Okay, right? And so you're looking at it and you go, are those things even important?
You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt.
Yes. That's
nailed.
Nailed.
Completely nailed.
Yes, because a lot of people will, and some of these motivational people out here, it's the funniest thing in the world to me. They'll go and say, when you wake up in the morning, pound your chest. Fucking look at yourself in the mirror and do all this fucking bullshit. I hope it works. What works for me is that everyday resume. The things I know I've accomplished, the things I know I've done, real hard work, the real calluses on my mind, the real calluses on my hands. That's it. You don't need to pound your chest in the mirror anymore if you have that.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it, you can influence it, you can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing, is to shake off this erroneous notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it, versus embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it. I think that's very important. And however you learn that, once you learn it, you'll want to change life and make it better, because it's kind of messed up in a lot of ways. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again.
I find words a lot because it helps me kind of like make sense of the world. And like exceptional is like an obvious one, right? We use the word exceptional like you are not like everyone else. But even saying it like that, like you are not like everyone else. And so if someone says you're not like everyone else, then you can just reframe that as like, I am exceptional. And that's not a bad thing. And I actually think that most people have, like, this might be counter to most people's beliefs, but I think most people have the potential to be exceptional. And because most people are peculiar in their own way. They just stifle that because they want to be accepted by most people, but in so doing, never accomplish what they want to do because they conform. And so, like, if there's probably a lot of things about the world or even your world around you that you're like, this never made sense to me.
I think continuing to have the belief in myself and not letting that veer off since I was young, since I've been told from my teachers that I would never amount to nothing. The bullying or the things that you face, the adversity you face, the discrimination, and just continue to keep your head up, continuing to march on ahead towards your dream and never losing sight of that. I think that's definitely for sure the most difficult thing, is keeping your goal and your eyes set on that and not being distracted, not giving up. I think the easiest thing in life is to give up on whatever you're focused on or whatever you're hopeful for. The hardest thing is to keep going, but we have to continue to hold on And I would imagine for so many people out there, that is probably the most difficult thing.
Everything we do, even things that seem stupid or derogatory, we do to meet some needs. There's only 6 needs people have. We have a need for comfort or certainty. We have a need for variety. We have a need to feel significant, unique, special, important. Everybody has that need. We have a need to feel connection and love. We have a need to grow. We have a need to contribute beyond ourselves.
It was just comfort, I think.
Yeah, it's the comfort and the certainty of what you know. But there is a fear that everybody has, 2 fears. All human beings at some moment feel that they're not enough. And to feel like you're not enough for someone whose love you crave makes a person crazy. And somebody whose love you crave. The average person, you don't care, but if it's somebody whose love you really want.
Oh, yeah.
So if you feel like you're not enough, then you feel like you won't be loved. To be worthless and unloved is like psychological death. So people drug themselves, eat, they do anything not to feel that. Well, what are your choices on changing that? Well, you could take on a new project, build a podcast, build a business, do something, but you have to take risks to do that. And risks, you could look like a failure. You could fail, which might look like you're worthless, might look like you're not worthy of love. So subconsciously, we come up with these ways to adapt. So smoking a cigarette comforts you because when you take that big, slow breath in and blow it out nice and slow.
For me, I was more miserable trying to make everyone else happy than I am now with everyone else unhappy with me. And so I think like from the social group I had before I quit my job, if we're going all the way like ground zero to today, I talked to no one from that time in my life compared to today. And I was absolutely miserable and unhappy and unfulfilled. And I would say that the majority of those people probably don't like me today because I changed. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. He thinks he's so fancy now, et cetera, et cetera. And I think I'm just okay with that. And so I think coming to terms with the idea that I could be absolutely rejected by everyone I know, but like me, I was more okay with that because the alternative was I didn't want to live anymore. And so obviously there's degrees and there's continuums and there's stages of where people are at with that. But as that being the taken to its logical extreme, would I rather live for them than live for me? I would rather be hated by everyone and like myself.
I believe that you have to build belief. Belief is like, there's an after school special belief where the mom says, believe in yourself, and that's all great. But there's also a built belief. And the built belief is one where you are constantly, like for me, I came from a bad place. How I build belief is through the daunting tasks I put myself through. So that's proof positive that I can. So it correlates. And that's how this piece of shit kid that I once thought I was built belief by saying, I was in 3 Hell Weeks. I went to Ranger School. I tried out for Delta Selection. That is proof, motherfucker. So whenever you think you can't, the confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief. You must build confidence. It can't be like, hey, I'm gonna go knock that shit out. You gotta look over here and say, I can knock that shit out. It's belief, and it's built on what you put in to yourself.
It changes the tempo in your body completely. You go from stress to comfort.
Wild West.
You can do that same shit without the cigarette.
Yeah.
You know? But once you're addicted, and it becomes the go-to. Some people stop smoking and then they overeat. Because overeating puts all the blood in your stomach and you start to breathe slowly again and feel things and you'll let go. So you can get certainty and comfort by those ways, or you can do it by working out and developing this sense of strength that makes you certain, or you can do the same thing day after day. There's so many ways. There's positive ways and negative ways. But we also need uncertainty. We need variety. If every day you know what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, you get bored out of your mind. But if you have so much variety, you don't know what's going to happen, people freak out. So these needs bounce up against each other. And so when people do a behavior like smoking will give you comfort, certainty. Smoking will give you, in some people's case, variety because you're stressed out. Now you change your state. That feels different. It's called variety. Smoking will give you significance if you think it's cool. Although today it's a little harder to do that because most people think you're an idiot. We put you in a separate room by yourself. Yeah, so, but it used to be, I'm cool if I smoke. And some people say, you can't make me not smoke. I'm significant, right? For some people, it's a way to connect with other people who smoke, right? So when you meet one of those needs, you like it. When you meet 2, you really like. When you meet 3, you get addicted. And you get addicted to positive things. You get addicted to exercise. You get addicted to working out. You get addicted to, growing your business. everyone gets addicted to something. If it meets a bunch of your needs, it's amazing. And in a relationship, if a person is certain that you love them and there's always a surprise, they say, oh, I know they love me and we have so many surprises, we have so much variety in our life and I feel like the most important person, significant, and I feel so much love for them and growing, contributing, I'm leaving. Nobody says that.